Good morning, children. We will study about Bhakti path. Last day only we started this lesson. For the last 3 days, we have been studying about Bhakti path. Now we have to study the remaining part of this lesson. The remaining part of this lesson we have to complete. What is remaining in this lesson? Now we will study about Kanakadasa. Kanakadasa was one of the most important religious reformers of Karnataka or South India. Kanakadasa. In the beginning, his name was Timmappa. In the beginning, his original name was Timmappa. That was his name, Timmappa. Then, in the beginning, he was a chieftain. He was a chieftain of In the beginning, he was a chieftain of Beda and Gangavara areas. During this time, he was not at all interested in the field of spiritual affairs. During this particular time, he did not show any interest in the spiritual affairs or in the spiritual matters. He did not show any interest in spiritual matters during this particular time. And he was a chieftain, local ruler of Beda and Gangavara areas. And he was a great soldier also. He was a great soldier also. Who? Kanakadasa. And he proved his abilities. He showed his abilities on. He proved his abilities as a great administrator also. He showed his abilities on. He proved his abilities as a great soldier and administrator also. He was a great administrator also. But during this time, he got an injury. During this particular time, he got one injury that was fatal. He met with one very big injury. And during that time, for so many times, he was on his sick bed. During this particular time, Kanakadasa was in his sick bed. That made him to think of spiritual life. During this particular time only, he began to think of spiritual things or spiritual matters. He decided to devote his life for the spiritual aspirations of his mind. That was the speciality of Kanakadasa. It is believed that during this time he got some gold. With that gold he made a temple of Adikesava. He made a temple of Adikesava. Adikesava means Sri Krishna. With that gold, he people began to address him or call him as Kanaga. And during this time he began to move towards Dasa movement. Dasa means he began to spend his entire time for the fulfillment of his spiritual aspirations. So, the person who was known as Timmappa came to be known as Kanagadasa by the people of Karnataka. People began to forget his name, Timmappa. People began to forget his name, Timmappa, and they began to use the name Kanagadasa. He had his own idea about moksha or salvation. He had his own idea regarding moksha or salvation. He told that we have to pray before Lord Krishna. He told that we have to pray before Lord Krishna. When we are praying before Lord Krishna only, then only we will get to moksha. Ultimate devotion or ultimate bhakti towards the Lord is the only way to attain moksha. We want ultimate bhakti in order to attain moksha. That was the idea of Kanagadasa. He was against caste system. Kanagadasa was against caste system. He did not like or he ridiculed caste system in his life. He wrote so many books and poems. He wrote so many books and poems. In those books and poems, he ridiculed caste system of India. During those days, Indian Hindu religion was divided into 4 castes. During that time or during those days, 4 castes were there in the land of India, 4 castes. That is, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. It was believed that Brahmins came out from the mouth of Brahman. They were doing puja work in the temples and they worked as teachers also. That was the condition of Brahmins. Brahmins did not do any type of physical work. Second category was the Kshatriyas. It is believed that Kshatriyas came out from the shoulders or puja of Brahma. They were ruling class or they were soldiers. They lived by exciting their physical power. Next one was Vaishyas. Vaishyas came out from the stomach of Brahma. Vaishyas came from the stomach of Brahma. They were the business class or they were the bankers. They gave money to the people of India by taking interest. Last one was the Shudras. It is believed that Shudras came out from the feet of Brahma. Shudras were considered as untouchables or chandalas. They were not allowed to touch the first 3 classes, chandalas. They were not allowed to go near the first 3 classes, chandalas. They were the menial servants or workers of first 3 classes. So, Kanagadasa told the people that it is a wrong belief that only higher caste people will get moksha. Then Kanagadasa told that all the people of India will get moksha, irrespective of their caste, but they should have devotion towards the God, devotion. They must have devotion or bhakti towards the God. If we have devotion, we will get moksha even though we may be born in a lower caste. That was the idea of Kanagadasa. This was the idea of Kanagadasa. He was against unnecessary rituals. Kanagadasa was against unnecessary rituals. What is the meaning of this one? Unnecessary religious practices were ridiculed by Kanagadasa. Kanagadasa told that unnecessary religious practices are a waste. What we should do? We should believe in God and we have to do our prayer before the God. That was the condition. Then, another thing which is not there, that is to continue. One time he went to Udupi Sri Krishna temple. Udupi Sri Krishna temple, Karnataka. The authorities of the temple did not allow him to pray before Sri Krishna. But Kanagadasa began to sing songs about Sri Krishna. Then the image of Sri Krishna turned its face towards Kanagadasa. That place is known as Kanagadasa. That place was known as Kanagadasa. Now in the land of Karnataka, more and more devotees are there for Kanagadasa than for any other social reformer or religious reformer of Karnataka. Then, what are the effects of Bhakti movement? What are the effects of Bhakti movement? Or what are the things that happened in the land of India as a result of Bhakti? What were the results of Bhakti movement? What happened in the land of India as a result of Bhakti or Bhakti movement? What happened in India or what were the results of Bhakti movement? Effect of Bhakti movement or the final result of Bhakti movement. What happened in the land of India that we are learning as a result of Bhakti? First one. As a result of Bhakti movement, caste system began to decline. I told you now only, in the beginning in the land of India, caste system was very powerful. In the land of India, inside the land of India, caste system was too powerful or very powerful. But what happened? What actually happened? Because of Bhakti movement, caste system began to decline. How the caste system began to decline, that we have seen. Bhakti sannyasis told to the people that, what they told? Bhakti sannyasis told to the people that, what they told? Bhakti sannyasis told to the people of India that caste is not at all a meaningful thing, they told. Bhakti sannyasis told that caste is having no meaning at all. All the people are having the right or power. All the people are having the power to attain moksha. Ultimate devotion or bhakti towards the goal is the only way to attain moksha or bhakti. Ultimate devotion or bhakti towards the goal is the only way to attain moksha. That was the idea of bhakti sannyasis, bhakti saints. Because of this idea, because of this principle, the importance of Brahmin caste began to decline. So, caste system began to decline as a result of bhakti sannyasis. Social changes. What is that? As a result of bhakti sannyasis, as a consequence of bhakti sannyasis, what happened? As a consequence of bhakti sannyasis, so many social changes happened in the land of India. So many social changes happened or took place in the land of India. So many unnecessary beliefs from the land of India began to disappear as a result of bhakti sannyasis. So many superstitious beliefs began to disappear from the land of India as a result of bhakti movement. So many superstitious beliefs began to disappear from the land of India as a result of bhakti movement. Then, Hindu-Muslim unity. Hindu-Muslim unity began to develop in the land of India as a result of bhakti movement. Hindus and Muslims, what happened? Hindus and Muslims were not in a friendly term before bhakti movement, but as a result of bhakti movement and Sufi sannyasis, as a result of bhakti movement and Sufi sannyasis, what happened? As a result of bhakti movement and Sufi sannyasis, Hindu-Muslim unity developed in the land of India. Hindu-Muslim unity began to develop in the land of India. As a result of bhakti movement and Sufi heritage, so many languages began to develop in the land of India. So many unknown languages of India began to develop. So many unknown languages of India began to develop. Unknown languages of India began to develop. Those languages were undeveloped before bhakti movement, but as a result of Bhakti movement, so many unknown languages or undeveloped languages of India began to develop. So many undeveloped languages of India began to develop during this particular time. Then literature also began to develop. Literature also began to develop during this literature. What is meaning? Literature in Urdu, Hindi, Persian languages began to develop in the land of India. That means some of the sannyasis of Bhakti movement were great personalities. Some of the sannyasis of Bhakti movement were great personalities or they were great writers. And some of the Sufi sannyasis or Sufi saints, they were also great writers. As a result of all these things what happened, as a result or as a consequence of all these things, literature began to develop in the land of India. Literature developed. Now also historians are telling that. What are they telling? Historians are telling that. What they are telling? The books and songs and poems which were written by Sufi sannyasis and Bhakti saints were having more importance than the works of any other writer of India. Bhakti sannyasis. Literature began to develop during this particular time. Then art also began to develop. Art and architecture of India began to develop during this time. Architecture is the style of making buildings. Architecture is the art of making buildings. Then art and architecture began to develop in the land of India during this particular time. Bhakti path. What is the meaning of Bhakti path? That we have to. For the last 3 days, we have been learning or we have been studying of Bhakti path. For the last 3 days, we have been learning or we have been studying of Bhakti path. We studied about Purandara Dasa, Meera Bai. We studied about Siswanara Sharifa. Understood now? Yes. Now we have studied about another great personality of Karnataka state. That is known as Kanaka Dasa. We have to learn or we have to study about Kanaka Dasa. The original name of Kanaka Dasa was Timmappa. Timmappa was the original name of Kanaka. In the beginning, he did not show any interest in spiritual affairs of Karnataka. Or in the beginning, he began to live a type of material life. In the beginning, he led a material life. He did not think of God also. He was a chieftain of Banga and Bengalpur areas. He was a local ruler of Banga and Bengalpur areas. And historians are telling that he was a famous soldier. And he was a brave administrator also. He showed his administrative abilities while he was the chieftain of Banga and Bengalpur area. He showed his abilities in Bada and Megapura areas. He showed his abilities or he showed his power as a ruler in Bada and Megapura areas. He showed his abilities there. But in one war, Kanagadasa was deeply wounded. In one of the wars, Kanagadasa was deeply wounded. And he was in his sick bed for so many days. In those days, he began to think of life and spiritual affairs. During this time, he got so much gold. During this particular time, he got enough gold or so much gold. With that gold, he made the temple of Adikeshava or Sri Krishna. So, up to this time, his name was Timmappa. Now, people began to call him as Kanaga, means gold. Now, while he was in his sick bed, he began to think of spiritual things or spiritual affairs. He began to think of spiritual things or spiritual affairs. So he began to move towards the Dasa path. Dasa. He began to avoid his material life. He began to lead a spiritual life during this time. He began to lead a spiritual life during this time. He told that in order to attain salvation or moksha, we have to pray before the God Krishna or Adikeshava. So, Adikeshava was the god of whom? Adikeshava was the god of Kanagadasa. He was against caste system. He wrote so many poems and books. In those poems and books, he began to ridicule the idea of caste. That is, during the time of Kanagadasa, during the time or during the days of Kanagadasa, Hindu religion was divided into four castes: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. It was believed that Brahmins came out from the mouth of whom? Brahmins came out from the mouth of Brahma. So, Brahmins were doing all teaching work and puja work in the temple. Second one was Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas came out from the puja shoulders of Brahma. So, they were the rulers or the administrators. They were the rulers or the administrators. Third one was Vaishya. Vaishyas came from the stomach of Brahma. So, Vaishyas were the business class. They were the bankers. They used to give money to the people by taking interest. Shudras were the last one. Shudras. It was believed that Shudras came after Vaishyas. Shudras came from the feet of whom? Feet of Brahma. They were the untouchables or they were the people who worked as the servants of other class people. So he told that unnecessary rituals, festivals are wrong, he told. Kanagadasa told. In order to attain devotion or moksha, we have to pray before Sri Krishna. That was the idea of Kanagadasa. Another topic which is not there in the textbook, I will tell you. Another book. One day, Kanagadasa went to visit Sri Krishna temple of Udupi. Now also Udupi Sri Krishna temple is there. He went near the image of Sri Krishna, but higher caste people did not allow him to see Sri Krishna. By waiting outside, he began to sing songs about Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna became very happy and he changed his face towards the western side to see Kanakadasa. That place is known as Kanakana Kindi. That place is known by the name Kanakana Kindi. Now we have to learn what were the results which Bhakti Sannyasis and Sufi saints brought out in the land of India. What are the changes which Bhakti Sannyasis and Sufi saints brought in the land of India? How many changes they brought in the land of India? First one is caste system. As a result of the work of Bhakti Sannyasis and Sufi saints, caste system began to decline from the land of India. Caste system began to disappear from the land of India. Caste system began to disappear from the land of India as a result of all these things. Caste system. That means Sufi Sannyasis and Bhakti Sannyasis told that caste system is a meaningless thing. In which caste we are born is having no meaning. There is no meaning that in which caste we are born. All the people can attain moksha, they told. All the people can attain moksha if we are believing in the God. If our bhakti is without mistake, all the people can attain moksha. In the beginning, what the Brahmins were telling that they have only the right of getting moksha. Now it has been changed. Bhakti Sannyasis and Sufi saints told that all the people, irrespective of their caste, can attain moksha if they are doing their prayer or puja before the God. So, caste system began to disappear from Indian society. Then, social changes. As a result of Bhakti Sannyas development, as a result of Bhakti Sannyasis, so many social changes happened in the land of India. As a result of Bhakti Sannyasis, so many social changes happened in the land of India. Social changes. Inside the Indian society, so many superstitious beliefs or so many bad beliefs were there. Inside the land of India, so many superstitious beliefs or bad beliefs were there in the land of India. But Bhakti Sannyasis or Sufi Sannyasis changed all those beliefs from the Indian society. Then, before the arrival of Bhakti Sannyasis or Sufi Sannyasis, Hindu-Muslim unity was not there. Hindu-Muslim unity was not there in the land of India. But Sufi Sannyasis and Bhakti Sannyasis told that unity between Hindus and Muslims are a must in the land of India. So, as a result of Bhakti Sannyasis, Hindu-Muslim unity was possible. Development of languages. As a result of Bhakti Sannyasis or Sufi saints, so many regional languages also began to develop. Then, literature. During this particular time, literature also began to develop. Urdu, Hindi, Kannada, Persian languages began to develop. In those languages, they began to make their literary contributions. Art and architecture. During the time of Bhakti Sannyasis and during the time of Sufi Sannyasis also, what happened? Art and architecture began to develop. Dear children, you observe this video. Read the same topic in your textbook. Thank you.